Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Motorsport with a challenge, a rather silly sort of racing. We've done this before in previous Forza games. It's always an entertaining one. This is single gear racing. The way it works is very straightforward. We each pick a car, a completely stock car from the game to go driving with. We then must select a gear. By the time we get to turn 1, we have to be in our selected gear, and that is the only gear we can then use for the rest of the race. No electric cars or anything like that are allowed, of course. So this throws up a whole bunch of questions. First of all, what gear do you use? You could use a lower gear to be fast through the corners, get better acceleration out of the corners, but you will buzz the limiter by the time you get to a straight. Higher gear, faster down the straight, but you'll struggle getting out of a corner. But it also throws up the conundrum of your vehicle. Do you go for something big and powerful that is all torquey and whatnot, or do you do what I have done and go for something that is small and light? The whole goal for me here is to be able to carry momentum. So I've gone for 5th gear in the Alpine here. Now, I know the first part of this lap, I'm going to struggle, but we are quite light, we are quite grippy, and the second part of the lap, we will be better. It's also gone very quiet after getting off the line. Oh, now suddenly the engine's kicked in. I've got not much, well, I've got a bit of speed going on here, but it's not really enough. I don't really want, problem is going like fighting side by side with cars is a really big problem, because any momentum loss is really difficult to make up again. Liam is leading the way with a Skyline. I think it's an R34 Skyline. We are following our fellow blue. In fact, if me and Gliska can get past Danger Man, we will have a blue car podium. Stevie's carried a lot of speed through that final corner. Who is going to buzz a limiter? Not Danger Man. Jesus Christ, not Stevie. And Shadow. Oh no, Shadow's hit the limiter there. Okay, Shadow absolutely found the limiter. Danger Man struggled to get the big boaty Lexus slowed down, and we have come out of all of that in second. So, Shadow's obviously... Shadow in the Holden, was it? Yep, that looks like a HSV. So that's going to have mountains of power, which is great. I don't have mountains of power. I don't have much torque either, if I'm being honest. It's the blue podium! Can we keep this? I don't know. Yeah, I don't have that mountain of power to rely on. I've only got 200 horsepower, but I am one of the lightest. I probably am the lightest car here, actually, come to think of it. I don't think... there were a couple of classic race cars tried, but they do not have the grip. Things are different for classic race cars. They are very difficult to drive in this game, so you just cannot carry any sort of speed. That was better through the final corner, so I'm hoping we're going to be faster. We are catching Liam down the straight, so we may be slightly longer geared than the Skyline. And the other thing, of course, to bear in mind with this, you may have seen on the grid, is a reverse PI grid. So you could use any car in B class that you liked. You know, it's a whole class to play with. But if you start off with a higher PI vehicle, you will be further back on the grid. So it is, I say, a little bit of balance, essentially. I messed up that corner slightly, a little slow on the exit. So Shadow is in 3rd. Gliska has slightly lost out with that Focus. Shadow's Holden is up to 3rd. Impega, I think, was in a Mercedes in the SLK. We will see. I mean, that's also quite light with a decent size engine, so I guess that's what they're going for. Liam is really wanting to cut the grass. That particular section of circuit, the grass was not to Liam's liking. Come on, Alpine, you can do this. I think we might be a smidge faster than the Skyline around here. We are catching. It's not by a huge amount, and if we do catch, the way we're going to pass it is down the straight. So we are clearly faster down the straight than the R34. I mean, we are higher PI than the Skyline. I think that started on the front row. So it's one of the lowest PI cars here. I think Liam is slightly better geared for this first section, but we are better geared. So this is the real conundrum. If I went for 4th, I'd be much better through this part. We can still carry the same corner speed, but it's just here. This is where we really struggle. It's where Liam pulls away, and Shadow is going to make up some ground on us as well back there. I mean, that's got the big torquey V8 in that. It's going to have well over twice the power we do. We've got 240, I think, something along those lines. So, yeah, Shadow's got a lot of power, but we are probably half the weight of the HSV. We're catching Liam again. We're catching little by little. It's probably only a couple of tenths a lap, but the momentum. There's a good final sector. I mean, it was a little bit on the grass. Blakey's on the move, actually, with a Lamborghini. There's a couple of cars parked up at turn 1. I'm going to guess cars that have either had some technical difficulties or have not really worked. We are gaining. It's not a huge amount a lap, but we are getting towards Liam. Could we, if we got close enough on the final lap, would we be able to outrun the Skyline to the line? That is a real question right there. Blakey, I don't know if Blakey is going to be able to catch us. I don't know if Blakey's going to have the time, even if that Countach is quick enough. So yeah, Liam's been good through that first sector. We've not really gained anything else, but then it's out of the final corner and down the straight where it matters essentially for us. This is a great handling car. Oh, no, we've got to wobble again. I mean, it's a slightly scruffy final sector for me. That's not helped. It's really not helped. We needed that final sector to be great. I turned in a little too early for the first corner. That's what got me in trouble. Sorry, the first corner, the final corner there. That cost us. We are about where we were last lap, I think. Liam will just continue to pull away. I don't actually know what line I want through here. I don't think this is the best line, perhaps for me, because we're just going to really struggle getting the car. Oh, go! It's so pitiful. All of the time we've made up just vanishes down this straight. Oh, we know it comes back to us later on. It's all gone. It's all gone. Blakey is catching. That Countach is seriously quick. Liam tapped the grass. So the thing Liam can't afford to do, like things like that, you don't want to lose any momentum coming onto this straight, because this is where my car is so very, very strong. Liam was out a little bit wide on the final corner. We'll probably have to have a lift, but not enough to really slow down. The menacing A110 is getting ever closer to the back of the Skyline. We've got to have a good lap now. We're not going to have a better opportunity. We're not going to have many more opportunities, full stop, actually, through here. We have got to be absolutely perfect if we can carry all the momentum. Ugh. Well, I mean, we had a win on the dirt, but I don't think it really cost us. That is, yeah, about as much on the dirt as I could possibly get away with. We're struggling a smidge up the hill. Liam is definitely closer. We're definitely caught on this lap onto that Skyline. Will we be close enough to have a go into the first corner? I don't know. Liam may have to start thinking about defending here. Liam doesn't want the A110 taking a big dive. We are really closing in. Oh, I don't know whether we could have got to the inside there. We maybe should have sent it, although I don't know whether we would have. Problem is, if we did send it up the inside of Liam, couldn't stop it in time and ran wide, because we can't go back down a gear, we would just be absolutely dead in the water trying to get going. We've got to try. If we're going to beat Liam, we've got to be on their bumper coming out of the final corner. We again took a similar line, running a little bit wide. This is going to be, I think, a very close finish if neither of us make any big mistakes around here with where our cars are strong and where our cars are not. I don't know what way this is going to go. Getting neat through here. Oh, we're going to take a couple of stabs at getting turned in. Liam also ran a little bit wide through there, around the final corner. The Skyline knows it's vulnerable, but the finish line is coming up quickly. Who is going to be able to take this? I think we're going to just steal it at the end. We did. The merciless pace of the Alpine did it. The Countach was faster. It was catching, but it couldn't catch quick enough. That was hard work. The Civic was fast as well, actually, but stuck in traffic, I presume. Ended up down in 9th by the looks of the finish. A tenth of a second separated the Alpine and the Skyline. Christ. Well, I mean, you couldn't ask for much more than that when it comes to a single gear race. Two vastly different cars. Produced their speed in very different sectors of the track. It was a tough circuit to pick where you wanted, what gear you wanted, where basically you were picking where you were going to be fast. I made the right call. I'm happy with the call I made in that one. That was a great car. we will take victory in this first round. We will move on to a different circuit in a different class. We head up to A-Class for our next race. I have got a Celine S1, and I'm going for a fairly similar strategy to what I did last time. We have got some glitches going on with the game, because I'm thinking that Danger Man has had some sort of lack of control with the car. My theory for this, well, we did a test. I was driving a KTM Crossbow that was about 2 seconds a lap quicker than anything else, which we then decided not to run because it would be a bit boring. I've ended up, I mean, the Celine is kind of a similar theory to the Alpine. A lot of cars here, you've got a lot of big, heavy, fast, powerful cars, and my goal is that we will, while we are high starting PI, my goal is we will be able to make lap time through momentum. Now, I'm going to run out of gears. I'm out of gears now in 4th, so there are going to be things much faster down the straight, things like Shadow's Jag. My hope is because my car is so much smaller and lighter in the corners, I'm going to be able to make up some time, although I'm going to maybe struggle on the exits. This is where Impega's Ford is going to come into its own, potentially, although not quite yet. We will weave through the... Yeah, this section is where I'm going to really struggle. So we can't accelerate through here, although neither apparently can Ollie with that Porsche. We're fine. We're fine. Ollie's got nothing. Danger Man's making an obstacle with an Aston Martin. This is a new bug we've come across today, whereby some cars... One race we filmed earlier, Liam had no steering working on their car. Danger Man's apparently got no control over that car. There's a Diablo going very sideways up ahead. That's okay. We will avoid a good save, Ewan. Well done. Ewan got tangled up with a longbow, got away with it. I'm so out of position. I was going to say out of shape. Not really out of shape, I'm just out of position, and I really can't afford to be. All my lap speed comes from being able to carry momentum through these corners. Now I'm out of gears. Stevie's out of gears as well. Gliska's turning up very quickly with an incredibly powerful and torquey Mercedes. Hurry up. Oh. Well, we've lent on a TVR. Ewan's had an adventure this lap. Some of it my fault. Some of it Longbow's fault. That's too deep. And then the second you're there, I'm so far out of position I just can't get going again. Come on, Celine. Find some go. See, I think on its own this car might be very quick, but I think in traffic I've got real problems. Thankfully the Aston Martin's moved. This is a dicey... the good thing about my car being small and light is I have got good brakes to do that dive. And we will dive on the Jag, we will dive on the TVR. Brazen's leading the way, I'm not sure what with. Is it a Viper? It looks like a Viper from back here. We're going to say it's a Viper. I'm fine. Well, I mean, I like the Viper, so I'm happy for that. I just want to be leading myself. Now, if we can not make any mistakes through here, that would be critical for the S1. Don't make mistakes. Carry as much momentum as I can through all of that. Get onto this straight. Be aware of that Merc. I am worried about that Merc. It's got so much power and so much torque. And gears. I couldn't go a higher gear than this, though. We're only, I don't know, probably a third of the straight on the limiter. A higher gear would be entirely useless out of these corners. So I'm happy with my gear choice. I don't know how we're going to get through this traffic. Like, one at a time I can probably do it. When it's a big gaggle of cars, it's a lot more difficult. I might be able to surprise a Longbow here if I've got the power to get going. Oh, got a little bit more understeer through there than I was expecting. I'm boxed in behind Liam. Liam's going sideways. Come on, Celine. Come on, Celine. Use that power. I mean, it's 400 horsepower, I think, in this. So it is less powerful than the cars it is around. But yeah, it's light, which is its big selling point. Can I dive on the Diablo here? Yes. Can I get it stopped? I'll get it turned. Just, again, you're committing to these lines for overtakes that I know are going to make me slow on the exit, and a car that's already struggling a bit for speed on the exit of the corners. Brazen's got, I mean, the Viper I think is one of the lowest, it might be in the car that started on pole, it's very low PI. So we are against cars technically, you know, slower than us, lower PI than us. We are in the limiter, although Brazen's in the limiter as well actually down there, because the Viper's not really getting away from us. Something's got close, so is that a Camaro? Yeah, that's scary. Camaro is now clear of the traffic as well, so that is something else to be worrying about. Not close enough to dive on the Viper here. It's going to be all about being hopefully neat through this section, carry good momentum. The Viper is struggling. We've got more acceleration. Brazen's going to cut across to defend. That is to be expected. What is going on up here? That car has rolled off the circuit. That is fine. It's don't know what it's done. It was flashing, I guess, a reverse light. Something weird is going on with Danger Man's Aston Martin. The Celine, I've ended up taking a little bit defensive line. I don't know if I want that. Oh! Massive accident! Absolutely huge crash. I think that was Liam. Liam rolled a BMW. Liam obviously lost it through, or the exit of turn 1. That is a huge accident. We only caught the tail end of it. I'm hoping someone screen catches it. Sadly, the multiplayer replays, they don't work. So I can't use the replay. I can't save the replay. I hope somebody recorded that, because, geez, that was a huge wreck for the BMW. That is one less car for us, right? It was struggling a little bit for pace, was that BMW. Brazen's doing a good job fending off the Camaro. The Celine, pretty happy with. I mean, it's basically done what I wanted it to do. It's done kind of the same as the Alpine. It's a big group of cars back there, all close together. Is that Ninetales' Ferrari who's gradually working its way forward as well? The one car that started behind me on the grid has made its way forward as well. Oh, I've not done turn 1 correctly. Very weird driving it in like a single gear. It's just a very strange thing. Your brain is screaming at you to go down gears, and it's just so sluggish. Actually, Ninetales has done a really good job getting that Ferrari through the pack. So that is now the F40 is the car behind me. So I'm going to guess the F40 is going to be better down these straights. It's going to be better down these straights. It's going to be better on traction. I'm going to be the better. Well, I say on traction, but I guess acceleration out of the corners. Traction's not really an issue for anybody's car, because nobody's car's in the right gear for any of these. I'm going to guess we may be a slightly better handling car than the F40. Although now Ninetales is clear of traffic, it has closed in. Will it struggle? Maybe I'm hoping it's overgeared. It's going to be really slow out of this section. This might be, yeah, okay. So this final section is where we can then pull the gap on Ninetales. Camaro is holding on in third. We head on to the final lap of the race here. The S1 working nicely. Fourth gear the way to go. Oh god, Danger Man is the track limits advisor. I don't know what glitch Danger Man is dealing with. We've had the car not moving. We've had the camera for the car stuck somewhere where it shouldn't be, which I'm going to guess is the glitch. So in the test race for this, we had a couple of people with cameras stuck looking in the pit lane. They had control of their car, but the camera was, for whatever reason, stuck in the pit lane. And I think that may be what's going on with Danger Man, because the car has moved about. So I'm going to guess that. Thankfully, it was on the circuit. Forza, everybody. Yeah, the F40, I think maybe just a smidge quicker. Although we had a slightly scruffy lap. Oh, and that's a really scruffy way to end it, because we're going to be super slow. You're going to lose so much time going deep through there. But this final section is generally, if we don't mess it up, is generally where the S1 was quite strong. Yeah, that F40 was quick. Camaro not bad either. We pulled clear. We fought our way through. Yeah, that F40 was very, very quick. Typical. We said KTM was a bit ridiculous. It was a bit ridiculous. It was only a little bit faster than the F40. So, yeah. The F40, the way to go. Certainly the S1 wasn't too bad. Camaro held its own, but yeah, the others. The Merc, I think the problem for the Mercedes was it was very fast, but it didn't quite like the traffic so much, and it may have got taken out by a BMW. I'm not quite sure. what happened with the M4, but that may have been involved. Yeah, we know the Vanquish had it. We know when Danger Man's car was busted. The Bentley didn't really work. Impega's Ford, I'm going to guess, was too awkward and cumbersome around there to really make too much progress. Well, we are 2 for 2. I am having a good time with this old single gear racing. For our final race, we have come to the Catalunya circuit. We are up into S-Class with a variety of cars. Jesus, Longbow shoots off the line like crazy. I have got a 911 GT1. I've got a little bit different on the old strategy for this one, so slightly different on the old strategy for this one. We're still, you know, a fairly lightweight car. Oh, this is not what we need. I've gone for 4th gear. Third's going to be way too short. 5th is going to be way too long. So 4th is really the only chance I have with this car. I'm hoping it's going to have enough power. I'm hoping it's going to be light enough as well that 4th gear is going to work. It should be quite a good handling car, but we shall see. The busyness at the start of the race, the slight downside to it is it doesn't get off the line amazingly well, and it's quite high PI, so we start a fair way back, so we are very much mired in the fight here. I'm not sure what is leading the way at the moment. I think Carrera GT, I think Ollie's driving the Carrera GT. Longbow, who was alongside me with a GT2, has shot off. This is all very busy. The Ford is quite slow in the middle of the pack. I'm going to guess that's quite a monster down the straights. We are all here. Uh-oh, Exocet. Oh, okay, I beached myself on a curb. That's bad news. Oh, we're all stacking up at the top of the course here. I feel like we've actually got quite good speed here if we can get out of traffic once again. Look at it go. Porsche is pulling on everything, but we are out of gears. So yeah, the downside for me here, I fear, is we may end up. Sorry, Ninetails. We got a little tag. Oh, and all the positions have gone away. God damn it. So yeah, we're going to make up all of our lap time through 3/4 of the lap, and then we're going to lose a huge amount of time the second we get on a straight. Shadow got mugged by me and Liam there. We're going to handle better than that Ford. But yeah, we are about to just run out of speed down the straight. Oh, go on, Edu. We'll give you a bump. And we're going to pull on the Corvette to start with. And limiter. And I can't do anything. Oh, I mean, I'm hoping when the field gets a little bit more spread out, might stand a bit better chance with this Porsche. Because we should, in theory, we're going to go around the outside of the Mustang, we should in theory lose less time essentially battling cars. I mean, I think we're going to try and follow the McLaren through on the inside. Give the McLaren a hurry-up push. McLaren can't put its power down. We can. Look, there was a door. We had to prize it. We used the old push bar on the front. It did the job. We had to get the McLaren through the corner a bit quicker. Right, we're up into a 9th place. That was a little bit of a rude pass on a Stevie. We got there. Ollie's still leading the way with whatever it was. Forgotten again. I remembered and then I forgot. I have an excellent memory. I think Ollie's being chased by Brazen in a Donkavort. We are over the curbs. I'm going to look at the speed we've got going up the hill. This part of the lap we are very fast at. We just know we suck down the main straight. Oh, Porsche wanted to get sideways, didn't, thankfully. So we're past the Celine and the Ford in one corner. Fantastic. But I have got to try and now get far enough away that they can't fight back when we get to the main start-finish straight. Okay, so Danger Man leads with the Nissan, the R390. Then it's followed by the Carrera, then Donkavort, then Vul, then it's the little Exocet, then the GT2 of Longbow that started alongside us. I think we've got better handling than Longbow's car. We can carry that momentum, but we are about to run out of straight line speed. Longbow's got all of that power, and obviously he's in a higher gear. Yeah, we found our limiter. So we are one of the slowest cars in a straight line. Celine is catching. Are we clear of the Celine by the time we get to the braking zone? We are. The Vul and the Exocet, sorry, the Vul and the Donkavort, not very fast down the straight. That is, I guess, to be expected, perhaps. I mean, it does depend entirely on gearing. This track's a hard one to gear for, because if you gear for most of it, you suck down the main straight. But if you have too long, if I went for, let's say I went for a higher gear in my GT1, I just wouldn't get out of these corners. I would like my fourth gear to probably be about 10 mile an hour longer. 10 mile an hour longer would do me really nicely. Although then, if you did that down the main straight, would you be too difficult out of these corners? That's the conundrum, and I don't know, if I'm honest with you. The Donkavort is struggling, and the Donkavort had a little wheel on the dirt there. It was a little bit dicey, and is sideways coming up the hill. Here comes the GT1. This zone here we are very quick at. We might be, outside of the Nissan, I think we might be the fastest car at the track on this part. It's just got momentum. We can carry the speed, because we use all of our gears about right down there. Oh, and I got in very, very deep chasing an Exocet. That's a little bit foolish. I can't really afford to do that. The Donkavort just can't get off the corner, though. So that's fine. Now, a podium is beckoning. I think Danger Man's kind of got this one in the bag in that Nissan. It looks like it is just too quick. I don't know. So we were expecting the Vul to run out of speed down the straight. The Exocet probably not. The Exocet you may get away with a higher gear because it's very light. Everything pulls on us. But you can see the gap we made to the Selene. Oh no, the Exocet's out of gears. Oh, no, well, it's out of gears, but it's out of gears slightly higher than we are. God damn it. Wow, even everything's actually pulling on us down here. Okay, but we are still good enough. That is not what I need to do. I can't really afford. I don't want to have to be bouncing over curbs if we can avoid that one. Porsche, don't you go bloody sliding about. We're doing a silly sort of racing. You shouldn't be wiggling around under power. Carrera GT is actually doing a great job holding on to that position. It is one, I think it's the second lowest PI, one of the lowest PI cars we have here. And obviously it has just got the right gear. So this is a little bit more about gearing. So we can't adjust the gears, of course. We're not allowed to, even if the car does have an adjustable box. But if the gearing just happens to be right for something, then the lack of PI is less significant. I could do with catching before the Vul gets past, or as they fight. That also helps me out. Now, can we do what the GT1 has been doing all race? It can't quite pull on the Exocet because that matches us. That matches us down this part. We handle better than it, but it's one of the few cars that actually accelerates out like us down there. We are side by side with, well, what's left of an MX-5. We will get the move done here because we are easier to drive than that Exocet. The Carrera GT is struggling in this race. I say struggling a little bit now. It cannot quite keep up with these vehicles. We are going to try. Only problem I might run into here is if I start losing any time behind cars, that Exocet is likely to come flying past again. We are out of our gears now. Yeah, Carrera GT is better geared. The Exocet is flying up towards us, and that is now past. God damn it, Carrera is good down the straight, and it has passed the Vul. It's a huge battle for second place here. They can continue to fight one another. Can I go through the middle? It's 3 wide. We may get 2 cars in one corner if I can get to the inside of the Carrera, which is where I want to go because I've got better drive at this part. We might get all 3 of them through here, and we do. The GT1 is up into second place. Got to watch out for the Vul. Oh, and we're going to slide a little bit. Nope, the Carrera is actually still the one behind us. It's Porsche versus Porsche for this second spot now, though. Well, defending, do we have the drive on the exit here? We do. God, we actually pull really well. That was a bad line through that corner. That was a really wonky line through that turn, and we pulled incredibly well. It's been a wonky line through there, so hopefully we're going to pull up the hill quite nicely. We need to. The Carrera has slipped down the order. I think it was always going to happen. Ollie held on for as long as possible, and fair play. No one has an answer to Danger Man with that Nissan. It's miles out in front. Oh, and Ollie slipped off the circuit back there. We will see. I think what's happened a little bit to me is I got stuck defending in a couple of places a bit foolishly, and yeah, we've slipped up on our driving. If we are out of line, it's not so good for the GT1. We may well be vulnerable down at turn number 1. Although, if the Exocet and Vul fight, that will help me out a lot. They slow each other down for any of these corners. It just puts me further away because we know we're going to run out of speed. I mean, I'm happy with what I've done with the gears here. I'm happy with my selection of gearing. It just means, yeah, we are now vulnerable at turn 1. Here comes that exocet. We know it's going to close and close and close and close and close and close, but I don't think it's going to be close enough to dive. It's right on the bumper, but it isn't quite there. Well clear of the Vull. So the Vull's a bit like me, just runs out of speed. Only I guess we accelerate better elsewhere. So yeah, the difference between me and the exocet is here. So at 100 mile an hour, we pull better. The exocet pulls better later on because it's obviously geared longer than we are. So we've just got to be. I think the start-finish line's quite soon here. So we should, if we don't make any mistakes, we should be okay. Got to, of course, bear in mind though the exocet doesn't have any traffic slowing it down. The Vull slipped back a little bit. We slipped back behind the Carrera. So I'm going to guess a mistake may have occurred in the final section. We will try and be as good as we can through here. The exocet is right there though. It's a bit oh, the exocet's gone wide. That takes some of the pressure off. That gets rid of some of the nerves. The GT1 I'm actually very impressed with. Was not sure about this at all, but it has worked a treat. Yeah, it just lacked a little bit of straight line speed, but it was a compromise that I am, happy to make. It is the second best car probably around here. The exocet, I think, very close in terms of lap speed. I feel like the Porsche is maybe a little nicer. I think it's easier to get this lap speed out of the Porsche than that exocet, which is always, it's always nice having the easier car to drive. You make less mistakes in it. Danger Man, though, that Nissan, definitely the way to go in all of this. We will round the final corner. We will cross the line with a second place. It's not quite 3 wins, but it's not bad. Yeah, could not match that Nissan. However, we had a great little battle with the exocet, with the Carrera. The GT2 RS didn't do too badly, ended up in 5th. The Vull slipped all the way down, so I'm guessing something happened because it had the pace, but mistakes. Griliska's McLaren, the F1 GT, also not bad in terms of lap time. The Donkavort, actually, I was expecting a little bit more from the Donkavort, to be honest with you. I did think the Donkavort was going to be quicker around here, but no, it just couldn't. It couldn't quite do it. And well, there we go. Quite a big field spread in this one. I mean, single gear racing is always a bit wacky. As I said at the start, a lot of things go into making a car work. Definitely the high PI route was the better way to go with this. And by the looks of it, the GT1 homologation specials were sort of way to go. And what's left of an MX-5 with Corvette parts, apparently. But there we go. There we go. That is going to be it for this video. It's always a fun challenge. Doing this, your car selection, your gear selection for whatever track and whatnot. Yeah, always enjoy doing this. Been a great challenge. Been some good racing as well in this one. That, though, shall be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.